Well, good evening and a warm welcome to all of you. My name's Andrew Green and I'm the chair of the New Welsh Review board. It's my great pleasure to kick off this celebration of the New Welsh Review's New Welsh Writing Awards 2021. Shortly, we'll be revealing the winner of the Rheidol Prize for prose with a Welsh theme or a Welsh setting, sponsored again by Richard Powell. Noswaith dda a chroeso cynnes iawn I wobre ysgrifennu newydd Cymru 2021. Fel arfer, byddwn ni'n cynnal y seremoni ar faes Gwyl y Gelli, ond wrth gwrs dyw hynny ddim yn bosib eleni. Felly, croeso I babell electronig y New Welsh Review, a gobeithio gallwn ni rannu peth o'r ysbryd o longyfarch a dathlu ar draws yr ether. It's a shame that we can't all be together physically in the same place this year, but we're going to do our best to engender a spirit of celebration and happiness across the electronic airways and indeed across the solar system, as you can see behind me. One way of stimulating the kind of interaction you'd normally have in a physical location is for you to add your comments on the YouTube channel. So if you'd like to do that, please do. Just a word first about the New Welsh Review. New Welsh Review has been a critical part of the landscape of reading and writing in Wales since 1939. Its function is to discover and display new writing of all kinds, both in Wales and outside, and we also help established writers to renew their voices. It's a home for all serious non-fiction as well as short-form fiction and poems. And of course, as the name implies, we also provide space for critical assessments or reviews of published work. Our aim all the time is to please readers and indeed to challenge them. What marks New Welsh Review out is the excellence of its writing, and our editor, Gwen Davies, is constantly on the lookout for new work of quality from Wales and beyond, as I say. In recent years, we've added these awards, and we're busy in other areas like encouraging students in their exploration of reading and literature. So please do tell your friends and acquaintances about New Welsh Review. Word of mouth, we've found, is the most effective way of gaining new readers and new sponsors and supporters. If you'd like to be a sponsor or supporter, please tell us. The latest issue of New Welsh Reader, number 126 for summer this year, is out, as it happens, today. And it has contributions by, among others, Susanna Dawes, Tim Byrne, and Liz Jones. And with it, we've got an exclusive subscription offer to all UK subscribers this season, which is a free novel, Easy Meet, by Dylan Thomas prize-winning author Rachel Trezise. We'd like to thank our sponsors for the award, this year, again, Richard Powell. He's been extremely generous in the past and is again this year. We'd also like to thank our partners, Tina with Llanystumdwy, Gladstone's Library in Harden, and Catherine Summerhayes, literary agent with Curtis Brown. All of them have stayed highly committed to us and to this project during what's been the worst year anybody can remember. We wouldn't exist without our core sponsor and the financial and other support that they give us, and that's the Welsh Books Council. So thank you, Welsh Books Council. And of course, we wouldn't exist at all without the staff of the review, Gwen Davies, Julia Forster, and Bronwyn Williams. So thank you, all of you. We'll be posting links to the partners on the YouTube site if you'd like to read more. And that's enough from me, and I'd like now to introduce Richard Powell, who's going to talk very briefly about his continued sponsorship of the Rheidol Prize. And after him, you're going to hear from our editor, Gwen Davies, who's going to announce the winner of the Rheidol Award.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the New Welsh Writing Awards. My name is Richard Powell, and I am sponsor of the Rheidol Prize for writing on a Welsh theme or subject. I became involved with the New Welsh Review 4 years ago after a lively exchange of correspondence with the editor, Gwen, where I said I would be very keen to see a wider range of writing expressing different viewpoints. And Gwen challenged me on this. She challenged me to put my money where my mouth was. And so I did and have. And this is the 3rd year now that I've sponsored the prize. We've had some very, very good results. We've had a lot of participation. We've attracted a wide range of writers of all ages, from all parts of Wales, and indeed many from outside Wales. The only problem we've had is choosing a winner or winners from an abundance of really excellent entries. Overall, I'm very proud to have been associated with the prize and very grateful to everyone who's been involved with it. Most notably, perhaps, Gwen and Julia at the New Welsh Review, but also everyone who has been involved as a writer or indeed as a reader, because our readers, are the ultimate beneficiaries. So thank you all.
Yn gyntaf, hoffwn llongyfarch yr ysgrifenwyr ar y restr fer. First, I would like to congratulate the writers on the shortlist. Jasmine, Jack and Joao. Iechyd da, cheers. Ag esbonio cefndir y Gwobrwy New Welsh Writing Awards. The awards were set up in 2015 to celebrate and publish short books under 30,000 words. We've awarded winners and published works in writing categories of nature, travel, memoir, the essay collection, the dystopian novella, and more recently with the support of our sponsor, Richard Powell, prose with a Welsh theme or setting. The writers we set on their careers include Elena Gramich, Kath Barton, Ed Garland, Mandy Sutter, a working class writer who won the Boardman Tasker Award as well, Peter Goulding. Eleni unwaith eto, oedd yr ymgeiswyr yn digon da I ymddangos yn enrifing printiedig mis Hydref, a bydd enillwyr y categori pobl ifanc o dan 25 yn ymddangos ar-line. Once again this year, the entries were high enough quality to appear in extract form in our autumn print edition, while the winners of the 1824 category will appear online. Now we are going to watch Jasmine Donaghy, Jack Harris and Joao Moraes reading a short extract from their entries, in no particular order.
Hi there, I'm Jack Harris, and this is the opening extract from my short story, The Rebeccas. And they blessed Rebecca and said to her, "You are our sister. Be you the mother of thousands of millions, and let your seed possess the gates of those which hate them." That was one explanation for it. The lines were from Genesis 24:6. Another was that when the men realized none of their wives' clothes would fit them, they'd gone to see a stout old matriarch known as Big Rebecca and help themselves to her dresses. "Any excuse like," said a boy at the back of the classroom, and then another boy, lacking the satire of his friend, perhaps hoping to compensate with sheer brevity, just said, "Gays." For years, Sean had favoured the biblical origin, its solemnity so commensurate with the task at hand. The gate was right on the money, a very neat touch, and he liked to think those guys knew what they were doing. Having been back in the town for the best part of a year now, he was starting to think again. This was not the shock of the new, but the shock of the old and put aside, the musk of the reluctantly dusted off.
Ahead of me, in a patch of sunlight, There's something lying on the crumbling tarmac. The road downhill is mossy, shady and damp under overhanging trees, but there's a gap where the sun has broken through the leaves. As I approach, a buzzard flies off from a tall ash, and now I can see what's lying ahead of me. It's the lower part of a sheep's leg, about 12 inches of leg and the black hoof. It's dry, clean, with no blood, no smell, not until I bend down at least, and then it gives off only the scent of warm wool, of sheep in sunshine. Kathleen Jamie or Mary Oliver, happening on a sheep's leg in the road, would be curious and they'd bring it home, and later they'd write about it, coolly, impersonally, making some larger observation, about death, obviously, perhaps about endings. There's Kathleen Jamie's account of boiling a gannet skull, Mary Oliver finding a fox carcass. It's autumn, but like summer, an Indian summer, I think, recalling California at Halloween, acres of pumpkins under a hot sky and empty lots off the freeway, acorn woodpeckers at Point Reyes drilling holes to keep their winter stores, and Jaime D'Angelo's fox boy and bear walking in Bay Area fog, Old Man Coyote telling them the story about Weasel who set fire to the world because he was mad.
Hi, this is João Moraes. I entered a novella with the title Festival of the Ghost to the New Welsh Writing Awards, and here is a small extract. Mr. Sparrow said, after a second, "It's been a stressful day for you. I tell you, son, what will help is if you get a drink down you at the wake. Talk about her. Let other people tell you about her." He moved his hand slowly and put it round my elbow. "I'll show you what I mean," I said. I went up to the lectern and tried to adjust it, but I didn't feel anything. It was just a lectern in a hall in front of your dead body. Mr. Sparrow said, "We have to be fair on the next mourners, sir." I ignored him. I started moving the lectern around, but nothing happened. I did some of my finger strumming rituals that you used to find funny when we were kids, even though I didn't feel the need to do them, but nothing was happening. I followed Mr. Sparrow down the aisle, and I heard a younger undertaker whisper, "What is it with this guy and funerals?" Mr. Sparrow told him to be quiet. I shook the hands of 100 people, all offering their condolences and offering to buy me a drink at the wake. But I wasn't listening. All I could think about was you.
Now I shall give my adjudication for the New Welsh Writing Awards 2021, Radal Prize for Prose of the Welsh Theme or Setting in English. Our third placed entry is The Rebeccas, a queer novella about history and male identity by Jack Harris. Our second place entry is Festival of the Ghost, a diverse time warp Cardiff set novella about death and OCD by João Moraes. And the winner is Reading the Signs by Jasmine Donahue. And here is my adjudication. Reading the Signs is funny, tragic, diverse, honest and angry, and has a proud sense of the writer's own place within the exclusive world of nature literature. It treads that zip wire across a woman's inner and outer landscapes and flips the bird at all those men who've mocked women writers in this field. This non-fiction blended memoir has heaps of hinterland, research and analysis, but presents trends in nature writing in an accessible way, tracing in particular how women's voices in the field have been excluded. Reading the Signs makes the feminist case against self-annihilation in nature and in nature writing or anywhere else, and plots in very personal ways how women experience self-erasure every day. The death of a much-loved sister frames the piece, pushing it into a highly compelling story. And it is the sisters' mutual love of birds, together with tightly observed explorations of body and flesh, as well as superlatively written scenes championing neglected landscapes such as Cros Caron near Tregaron, that coalesce to create a body of writing that is rich and highly rewarding. Here is an unflinching gaze into shame, disgust, curiosity, domestic abuse, love, empathy and loss. and Jasmine joined us now.
I'm really delighted by this honour. It's really, really exciting. And competitions are so important for writers, but this competition in particular serves such an important function because there are such barriers to work that has a Welsh theme or a Welsh setting, which I think any book publicist who's tried to get coverage for a Welsh themed book or a Welsh published book will confirm there are real barriers. So I think this particular prize serves a really, really important function for Welsh writers, and yeah, I'm just thrilled. And I think for me it's particularly exciting and important because it comes after really a hard time as a writer. We don't talk enough, I think, as a community of writers about the challenges of disappointments and rejections and failures, outright failures. Instead, we see one another's successes and publication deals and prize winnings and all the rest of it, and we don't know enough about how we all struggle to get there. And so for me, this is just a really wonderful moment for me. It's really good for my rather battered confidence. I think at any stage in your writing career, you're having to deal with setbacks. And I know it's been a really, really hard time for writers generally. The opportunities are shrinking, publishers are getting more cautious, and a competition is such a great opportunity to put your work in front of somebody who'll make a judgment about it that's not related to its marketability, to its saleability, it's just its value. And so I'm absolutely thrilled. And the other thing I think is so great about this competition is that it really supports many writers. So I'm thinking of all my fellow long-listed writers and shortlisted writers whose work will also be published in some form in the future, and I'm really looking forward to reading that.
Well, thank you very much, and many, many congratulations. I hope you've got a glass of something fizzy at hand, because wherever you are, I'm going to ask you now whether you wouldn't mind raising the glass to congratulate all of the writers who've contributed to this year's awards, the winners, the long-listed and shortlisted writers, and indeed everybody who contributed their work. Llongyfarchiadau chi gyd, pob un ohonoch chi. Finally, you'll see on the YouTube chat that there's a code you can use to purchase books by previous award winners at a 20% discount. They include books by Mandy Sutter, Catherine Haynes, Kath Barton, Ed Garland, and the 2019 winner, Peter Goulding, whose book Slatehead was shortlisted for the Boardman Tasker Award last year. In October this year, we're going to be publishing The Word, a dystopian novel by another winner, J.L. George. A dyna'r cyfan, diolch I chi I gyd am ymuno â ni heddi a helpu dathlu y wobr a dathlu ysgrifennu yng Nghymru. We've come to the end of this year's awards now, and I'd just like to thank everybody who's taken part, and to thank you for coming along and sharing with us in this celebration of Welsh writing. And I hope that next year we'll be able to meet physically and celebrate again. Diolch yn fawr a hwyl fawr.